have a lot of trouble keeping up with all the right-wing propaganda spewing from Fox News. The latest example I've stumbled upon visiting their website is a collection of Obama-bashing videos labeled Defcon-3 by KT. The KT is KT McFarland, formerly, naturally, of the Bush administration. She appears to specialize in fear-mongering that Obama isn't keeping us safe. Take a gander.
This is Defcon-3 by KT, and I'm KT McFarland. With the Detroit bomber, we now have a clear pattern on how the Obama administration deals with terrorists. Try them in civilian courts with the full rights of American citizens. When young Mr. Abdul Muttalib got off the plane in Detroit, he had started talking to the FBI. He told them there were more like him, Yemeni-trained suicide bombers, and they were coming to America. But once we granted him Miranda rights, he got lawyered up and clammed up.
Naturally, McFarland is either ignorant of the facts or simply ignoring them. Having a lawyer doesn't mean authorities can't interrogate him. It's all about admissibility of evidence into court. Nor would the underwear bomber be denied a lawyer in a military court.
The Obama administration remains committed to closing Gitmo and releasing some of the prisoners back to Yemen, though previous Gitmo grads have returned to Al-Qaeda rather than join the Yemen Rotary Club. And they're so committed to political correctness that they have refused to use profiling to identify potential terrorists. Well, contrast that to the way they're treating the 3 Navy SEALs who captured an Iraqi terrorist. Those guys have been court-martialed for giving the terrorist a bloody lip.
The talking point about the 3 Navy SEALs is ripped directly from Red blogs. Most of the coverage of the story is basing their facts on a Fox News story breaking the incident. You've got to dig a bit to get to the real truth beyond 3 heroes are getting court-martialed for giving a terrorist a fat lip. The first thing I thought of was, how does it take 3 Navy SEALs to give a guy a bloody lip? Well, of course it doesn't. The charges include lying to investigators and hampering an investigation. Though given her track record of dishonesty, I can see why JT doesn't criticize anyone for lying. JT's screed also ignores the accused were merely facing non-judicial punishment, but refused it, so they themselves requested a court-martial.
President Obama believes that many of the ills besetting America are the result of the Bush administration policies. And if we reverse course and apologize and are deferential enough, well, those ills will disappear. So far, it hasn't worked. Al-Qaeda is spreading to new countries, recruitment's up, and they're sending a new wave of suicide bombers to attack us. The president is treating terrorists like citizens and citizens like terrorists, and it's not working. It's not making us safer, and it is time to stop.
The administration has stopped sending detainees to Yemen, but that decision may be more recent than her rant. However, I can't overlook a story today I heard that Anbar province, a former hotbed of terrorist activity, is being turned over to the Iraqis. That puts a whole new face on her unsubstantiated fear-mongering that terrorism is thriving since Obama assumed office a year ago. Which leads us to why Al-Qaeda is quote-unquote spreading. They've mostly left Iraq, a place they weren't in any numbers until Bush ordered an invasion. They've left Afghanistan. What we confront there is the Taliban, and have run off like roaches after a light is switched on to the cover of Yemen, the Horn of Africa, and Pakistan. Is them running to new areas with little to no local governmental control a sign of Obama's weakness?
The next terrorist attack could be successful. Despite the nearly 250,000 military and contractors we have in Afghanistan, the war zone is expanding. The militants are getting bolder, and the Karzai government, well, it remains unpopular, corrupt, and inhuman. And he's had a year to try it. But has it worked? Has it made us safer? No. If anything, terrorists have been emboldened. They're now up to a terrorist attack every 3 weeks.
A date which will live in infamy.
Please don't mistake my criticisms of KT for me having a particular opinion on any of these topics presented by her. I'm just sick to death of Fox News' lies of omission to reinforce their conservative ideology.